Hi, and thank you for joining me for another short talk. And friends, today I want to talk about moon spotting. And it's quite amazing how people run towards movements without even thinking twice about them. From the flat earth theory, the lunar Sabbath, the calendar of Enoch, Karaism, and the one, again, I'm going to cover today, the moon spotters. And one thing all these movements have in common is the idea of mass deception. In other words, the notion that the observant Jews of today are deceiving everyone, and being that the majority of those who join these movements are former Christians themselves, it's just a continuation of what they believed as Christians. The idea that Jews have some sort of hidden agenda, scales over their eyes, or a spirit of stupor. So, regarding the moon spotting, friends, let me ask you, where does the Torah ever tell you how to determine months? Or better, does it ever tell you to use the moon? Can you think of any place? Now, some will say that the word Chodesh, used for month, or Rosh Chodesh for the beginning of the month, in some way alludes to the moon because in English translation, Chodesh, or specifically Rosh Chodesh, is translated as new moon. But in Hebrew, literally, that's not what it translates to. The word Chodesh, just like Chadash, just means new or renewal, i.e. a renewal of what we know of as months, the parts of a year. So, why do we have so many people so proudly saying that we go by God's calendar and not man's? Well, it's because they're just repeating what they heard someone else say who also hasn't done their homework. Now,
he was speaking about the sighting of the new moon, how he disagreed with the sighting of the new moon, that this is incorrect, that this should not have been translated the sighting of the new moon, or that it doesn't mean sighting of the new moon. He said it simply means appointed times, not the sighting of the new moon. So therefore, in this video, I want to show you that he is not correct in this. And I hope that by the end of this presentation, you, the viewer, will be able to decide for yourselves who is right and who is inaccurate. The biblical month begins with the crescent new moon, also called first visible sliver. The Hebrew word for month, Chodesh, literally means new moon, and only by extension the period between one new moon and the next. The Rabbinite Midrash, meaning rabbinical literature, relates, now listen carefully, that when God said to Moses, "This month, Chodesh, shall be for you the beginning of months." Then it quotes Exodus chapter 12, verse 2. Listen carefully. The Almighty pointed up into the heavens at the crescent new moon and said, "When you see like this, sanctify, declare new moon day." In this rabbinic tale, it highlights an important point, namely that it is a sighting of the new moon. That is the point of this whole thing. The reason for this is that the term for month, Chodesh, itself implies that the month begins with the crescent new moon, as we will see in this presentation. This would have been obvious to any ancient Israelite present when Moshe recited the prophecies of YHWH to the children of Israel. And therefore, there was no need to elucidate this concept any more than such terms as light or dark. However, due to long exile, much have been lost. But we have always understood this to be the sighting of the new moon, as well as the Samaritan Israelites, who I'm very, very close to. They also do this, and they read the ancient Hebrew as well. Therefore, we will have to reconstruct the meaning of Chodesh from the usage of the word in the biblical text using sound linguistic principles. Let's take a look. He created the moon for Mo'adim, appointed times. Where can we show in the scripture, in Tanakh, that it does refer to the moon? Which Rabbi Asher Meza disagrees. He says, no, there's nothing connected to the moon whatsoever. It's not there. Really? Let's read Psalms 104, verse 19. And you decide, you the audience. That's Psalms 104, verse 19. It says, "He created the moon for Mo'adim, appointed times." He created the moon for Mo'adim, appointed times. Very, very clear. The Hebrew term Mo'adim, appointed times, is the same word used to describe the biblical holidays. For example, in Leviticus chapter 23, which contains a catalog of the biblical holidays It opens with the statements, "These are the Mo'adim, appointed times of Yehovah, holy convocations, which you shall proclaim in their appointed times," Mo'adam. So when the psalmist tells us that God created the moon for Mo'adim, appointed times, he means that the moon was created to determine the time of the Mo'adim of Yehovah, our Creator, blessed be His name. That is the biblical observance of the new moon, according to the written word of Elohim. Chodesh is related to the moon. As we read in Psalms 104, the verse clearly teaches us that the holidays are related to the moon. But when the Torah was given, Psalms 104 had not yet been written. This is a counter-argument he might provide by the Levitical prophets. And the question still remains of how the ancient Israelites would have known this. The answer is that the Hebrew word for month, chodesh, itself indicates a connection to the moon. We can see this connection in a number of instances where which chodesh, month, is used interchangeably with the word yerah, the common biblical Hebrew word for moon. Literally means moon. Yerah is the Hebrew for moon, which by extension also means month. For example, in the month Yerah of Bul, which is the English month Chodesh, this is in 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 38. In the month Yerah of Etanim, which is the 7th month Chodesh, you find this in 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 2. Another proof that Chodesh is related to the moon, Yerah, is the phrase a Chodesh, month of days. This is in Genesis chapter 29, verse 14, and also in Numbers chapter 11, verses 20 through 21, meaning a period of 29 or 30 days, which is equivalent to the phrase a Yerah, month, moon of days. You find examples of this in Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 13, 2 Kings chapter 15, verse 13. Clearly, then, Chodesh is related to Yerah, which itself literally means moon. Shalom, and thank you so much for your time. I hope this was helpful. Please don't forget to hit the like button, because this helps so much to reach more people. And thank you again, everyone. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your support. And may Yehovah bless you immensely. Thank you.